Here's something most people in the fuel broker world don't want to admit. Thousands of people are trying to close fuel export deals right now. EN 590 diesel, 10 ppm jet A1, CST 180 fuel oil, and the vast majority of them have never seen a real deal close. Not because the market isn't real, the market is enormous, but because they are working from a version of this business that doesn't exist. Hi there, I'm Rizwan Khazi, and today I'm gonna show you how a US fuel export actually works from source to buyer and exactly where most people fall out of the process before a single dollar ever moves. Stay with me because what I am about to cover is not in any broker's WhatsApp group and it's not in any free blog post I have ever seen on this topic. If you are new to fuel trading, trying to understand how EN 590 or Jet A1 exports move out of the United States, or you have been in broker chains that go nowhere, this video is built for you. If you are already closing 7-figure cargo deals, you might still find the compliance section useful. But if you are at the beginning and you want to understand this business the way a trading desk understands it, then lean in. Let me tell you what the typical new fuel broker experiences. They find an offer online or in a WhatsApp group. It says EN 590 10 ppm diesel, FOB Rotterdam, equivalent massive discount to Platts. Okay, good. The industry price benchmark, direct from refinery, mandate available, commission protect, everything is there. They forward it to 10 people. One person says they have a buyer. That buyer sends an ICPO. The ICPO gets sent. Then nothing happens. Weeks pass, the deal goes cold, and the broker never understands why. Here's the belief that's causing this, and I want to break it right now. The old belief is if you connect a buyer and a seller, you are in a deal. The reality is, without understanding the sequence, the documents, and the compliance layer, you are not in the deal. You are in a conversation. Those are two completely different things. I built this Hyvnd Academy channel because the fuel export education space is full of people who have never seen the inside of a trading desk, teaching other people how to trade fuel. What I cover here is based on real deal structures, real documents, and real compliance requirements for US fuel exports. My goal is to give you the foundation that serious counterparties expect you to already have before you ever send your first mail. Now, let me share you here 3 failure points. Point number 1, not knowing who actually owns the product. Here's what most new brokers assume. They assume that the person sending them an offer owns the product or is directly connected to someone who does. In reality, US fuel EN 590 Jet A1 CST originates from a refinery or a term contract holder. Between that source and your inbox, there can be 3, 4, or 5 layers of intermediaries, none of whom has verified supply. What does a real fuel trading desk see when they receive that offer? They run a quick background check. They check the company registration date, the principal's trade history, the bank they claim to operate through, and whether the offer matches real market pricing. If the company is new, the offer is priced impossibly below benchmark or above, and the document looks like a template someone brought online, the email gets deleted. The hidden gap here is supply verification is the first filter in every real trade. Not price, not quality, not supply. Most free content skips this entirely. Now, point number 2, misunderstanding the payment instrument sequence. Ask 100 new brokers what an MT700 is, and most will tell you it's a letter of credit. Ask them when it's issued, what triggers it, which bank issues it, and what happens if the documents presented don't match, and the room goes quiet. Here's what the typical broker does. They pass along a deal where the buyer says they can provide an LC and they accept that as a confirmation of financial capacity. But what a serious seller actually sees is an unverified claim with no bank confirmation, no SWIFT reference, and no proof of the credit facility behind it. The payment instrument is not a promise, it is a confirmed banking instrument that exists inside a correspondent banking network, and it has to be issued before product allocation begins. The sequence matters, the instrument type matters, the issuing bank's standing matters. Most beginners don't know the difference between an MT700 and MT760, let alone when each one is appropriate. That gap is quietly killing deals across this entire space. Next, when we look into no compliance awareness, this is the failure point that has the most serious consequences, and it's almost never discussed in fuel broker circles. Every US fuel export requires a federal filing, the EEI, Electronic Export Information, filed through AIES. AES, automated export system, is mandatory under the foreign trade regulations. It is not optional. It is not something someone else handles while you collect a commission. Every counterparty, buyer, intermediary, end customer must be screened against OFAC. Exporting to a restricted entity, even without knowing, creates federal liability. And if you are brokering between parties without an NCNDA agreement, an IMFPA master fee agreement, your commission has no legal protection. Deals close, commissions disappear, parties get cut out. This happens constantly, and it happens because brokers are working without the legal structure that protects their position in the chain. Most free content in this space never ever gets to this level. Now, here is the institutional truth about US fuel exports that almost no one discusses openly. The deal sequence has a precise order, and that order is non-negotiable. Corporate purchase order first, then the seller's FCO, full corporate offer, and draft SPA, sales and purchase agreement, then the payment instrument from the buyer's bank, then product allocation, then inspection, then loading, then document presentation, then payment release. Every step in that chain has a document that corresponds to it, and every document has a format, a legal standard, and a compliance requirement attached to it. When a step is skipped, when a buyer wants to see product proof before issuing financial capacity, or a seller wants payment before loading, that's where the deals break or where fraud enters the chain. Understanding that sequence is what separates someone who can sit across a trading desk from someone who is still forwarding offers in a WhatsApp group. Here's where you are if you stay where you are. You keep receiving offers, you keep forwarding them, you keep having conversations that go nowhere, and you never understand exactly why, because you are missing the institutional layer that real counterparties operate inside. Here's where you are if you learn the framework. You know what a compliant ICPO looks like. You know what payment instrument is appropriate for which deal size. You know what AES filing requires. You know how to structure your position in the chain so your commission is protected by law. You become the person in the room who actually understands how this works. That is a different conversation entirely. Now, if you want to go deeper than this video goes, if you want the full step-by-step framework, the document templates, the compliance checklist, and the deal execution roadmap, that's what we have built inside the Hyvnd Academy Fuel Export Program. Everything I have described today, the deal sequence, the payment instruments, the compliance layer, the legal agreements, is covered in detail with real examples inside the course. You can also start with our free webinar on fuel export frameworks. The link is in the description. It's not a sales pitch, it's a full training session. Watch it and you'll understand exactly what the paid program covers and whether it's the right next step for you. If this video gave you clarity on how the business actually works, the next video you need to watch is on fuel export documentation, because the documents are where most deals either hold together or fall apart completely. It's already on this channel. Go watch it next. See you there. Thank you.